So when you first start at university, you're receiving an awful lot of information from different directions. You've probably got a little bit of anxiety before you get here about what you're going to encounter, maybe the jump in the type of information that you're going to find. I would say that's completely normal at this stage. Don't panic. There'll be lots of inductions in your first week, your first month. We're going to give you all the information that you need. And if it helps you kind of quell some of those anxieties, take a look around the library website, have a look at some of the information that's available to you, and just remember that everybody's in the same boat, and there really is so much help out there available.
Yeah, I'd just say make the most of it. There's an old brand, which I don't know if it still exists, an old shampoo brand called Wash and Go. And the idea of that brand was you would go and you wash your hair, then you would leave the kind of shower ready to take on the world, nothing else required. And I often think that one of the biggest mistakes, it's a shame something some students make, is what I would say is a wash and go student. So they come to lectures, seminars, go home, do nothing else. Actually, at Newcastle, you've got a huge variety of opportunities open to you to get involved in extracurricular activities, whether it's volunteering, student society work, part-time jobs, staff student committee. And really, there's so many benefits in doing that. It might be social, it might be professional development. Employers put huge value on that as well. So when you're engaging in these activities, really what you're doing is you're creating stories for yourself that you'll one day explain at an interview when the question was out, what did you do at university? Or tell me about a difficult team you've been involved with. And rather than having the same old examples that everybody else has about a group project at university, you'll have something new to talk about. So my biggest advice would be, take those opportunities during freshers, get involved, don't be that wash and go student.
I would say to all students who are coming to Newcastle, drop us an email, give us a call. We can then talk about any support we can put in place for when you arrive. You can meet an advisor once you're settled in. Send us your medical evidence, talk about what you've had before, and we can make the journey from school, college, as sort of easy as possible, really, that transition. But remember, we are here, it's discreet, it's in a building with every other service, so finance, accommodation, nobody needs to know why you're coming. It is all very discreet, and there's a good team here to support you, whatever your difficulties may be.
So I think my advice would be, don't worry about it. We as module leaders understand that school, college and university are different things, and there's a transition that all students are experiencing. So please do ask us anything. You can certainly ask us questions that you won't be asking us in second and third year, and we'd be more than happy to answer them. But really, we'd only help you if you ask us questions. So the help is there, the support is there. It is daunting, I accept, to come and knock on people's doors, but please just ask us and we'll help you as best we can.
Coming to university can be the most exciting time of your life, but it can also be the most daunting in terms of it being a whole different environment. It may well be much larger than you anticipated. It may well be that you've come from a small school and suddenly you're launched into a huge learning environment with lots of strange buildings and lots of people all around you. My top tip, I think, is ask questions, be curious, and also notice your own kind of how you're feeling about it, and don't worry about other people, worry about yourself. And if you're feeling worried about something, then go and ask somebody about what you're not sure about. My feeling is that it can be very overwhelming at times, and you might need some time just on your own to kind of make sense of what's going on. So again, if you're used to having some time on your own, don't feel compelled to be being involved in all the things that are happening around you. And if you do know you're an introvert, then spend some time on your own so that you can decompress. If you're an extrovert and you need company, go and find somewhere where you can get the company. But knowing yourself and how you feel about things is probably the most important thing to actually successfully make that transition from one learning environment into another. And as I say, I think the most important thing is don't feel afraid to go and ask, because there are lots of places where you can ask for advice and support. And here at Newcastle University, we're really helpful in terms of making sure you're getting the right advice and the right support.
Okay, so my top tip would be to give yourself time to get oriented within your new learning environment. The feedback that you're given from your earliest assignments will give you an indication of where you're at and what kind of things you might need to do and work on to get to the next stage. And in order to do that, what you might need to do is something that I call a skills audit. So think about how you, when you were at school, approach things like note-taking, revising for exams, managing your time, all the aspects of the writing process. Think about whether those techniques and strategies that you have been using are still working for you. If not, what kind of things might you do to make those strategies and techniques more effective at university?